because it's still etched very deep in my memory, my first meeting with him. He indirectly told me that the fastest way to progress is to be where the Guru is there. I made a point that I will meet him today somehow. And throughout the satsang, I was only making a thoughtful connection from the heart. I literally ran behind him. And before the car left Manapakam Ashram, I had latched onto my two-wheeler. Next 5 hours, it was almost like homecoming of a soul. When I say that, even now I get goosebumps, because 5 hours he took care of me in a way which is literally unbelievable. Actually, in '92, even before I joined the mission, I was heading a very large organization as the national marketing head, doing very good. And at the time, there was a very big organization in India, which was one of the largest computer network distributors. They wanted to offer me a plum post, which was unbelievable, 5 times the offer of what I was already making, 5 times, 5x. And that was the time I had just got my introductory sittings. And when I got the introductory sittings, I hadn't met Chariji for almost 6 months from the time I took my sitting. But my preceptor spoke so much about him that I got glued on. And he indirectly told me that the fastest way to progress is to be where the Guru is there. And I turned down this offer to stay back in Chennai, which is something that even today is logically not explainable. I stayed back and I felt I need to come closer to this person who is my Guru. I still didn't know him. And after that, I started slowly making attempts to get to know him. And the job which I did perfectly well for 20 years, somebody else was doing, where they kept on stopping me from meeting him. Every time he used to go, they used to say, Chariji is busy, you can't meet him, it's not possible, he's busy, and blah, blah. And those days, there were hardly 40 people in Ashram. You can imagine. And finally, one of the days, I remember it was 21st of November, '93, which was a Sunday. I made a point that I will meet him today somehow. And went to the ashram in the morning. He came, of course, he comes on Friday evening, he used to stay till Sunday evening, along with Mami, Sulochana Mami. And he gave the satsang in the morning. I made attempts up to 11 o'clock, and they didn't let me in. I literally ran away home, dejected, highly dejected, and what the hell, I mean, forget it. The ego took over again. Around 2:33, when I woke up after the afternoon nap on a Sunday, I just said, let me make one more attempt. Being a salesman, I didn't want to give up. I went to ashram at around 4. He used to come at around 5 o'clock for the evening satsang. Those days it was 4:30, in fact. I went at 3:45, took a seat just opposite his chair, so that I went early so that I will get a chance to sit close to him. And throughout the satsang, I was only making a thoughtful connection from the heart. And at the end of the satsang, he gave me a look from the chair, but he got up and left. And literally ran after him. But if you remember the old cottage, I don't know how many of you know the Manapakam old cottage. I ran behind him, and before I went there, a very small boy was put on duty. I still remember the chubby face, 7 years old. He said, Uncle, you can't go in, Master is busy with it. And still I thought, anyway, I knew that TMR 3756, that ambassador which Chariji used to use, was waiting outside with Brother Vijay Rangan, was about to drive in. And I knew it's only a question of time before Chariji popped out. I said, let me wait here. And as he came out, I ran close to him. I was about to introduce. He just literally shrugged me off and got into the car. And it was one more big, sort of a fistful knock, saying that I don't care types. I knew he had, through the corner of his eye, he had looked at me, but somehow I still didn't crack. I was again thinking what to do, but I said, that it's not yet lost. I went to the ashram in a scooter those days. I still remember it was a kinetic Honda TN07C0445. I took that, and because it's still etched very deep in my memory, my first meeting with him. I literally ran behind him, and before the car left Manapakam Ashram, I had latched onto my two-wheeler, started following him like they would follow a girlfriend, One of the first signals where he stopped, where he had to, it was red. I went and stood. He used to sit on the left side window, and right side Vijayarangan uncle, Brother Vijayarangan was driving. I went and introduced myself. I said, hello, Master, I'm Prakash. He just said, Prakash, And by the time it would turn green, and he started driving again. And I thought, my God. And as the vehicle went on, there was a turn near Kotrupuram Bridge where he used to go to Gayatri. I am supposed to go straight home. I said, no, I will not leave it. I will go behind him. I followed the car and slowly went behind. And I have never been to Gayatri before, which was his house in Alwarpet. As the car closed in into Gayatri, the salesman inside me took over. I parked the scooter, opened the dicky, picked up about 3-4 bags and ran inside the house as if I'm offering some service. And when I went in, by the time he had got down and went inside, put his the towel and all that way he does, he came out and sat. And by the time I felt somehow his face had become, he was smiling and all that, he just asked me, welcome home. It was one of the first words he said. And this was about 5:45 or so. And that day night, it was 10:45 when I came back home. Next 5 hours, it was almost like homecoming of a soul. When I say that, even now I get goosebumps because 5 hours he took care of me in a way which is literally unbelievable. We just cannot. He took me on a home tour, introduced everyone, showed his books, showed his record, showed his diaries. I didn't even know why he was doing all that. And everyone was coming home. He was mobbed because by the time more than 100 people had come to Gayatri. He had literally been introducing everyone. And the best thing happened is Krishna, his son, was out of town. And 2 days later, he had come home. And after that, I have never been away from him even for a day when he was in Chennai. After 2 days, when Krishna came home, Master Chariji Maharaj introduced saying, this is Prakash. Krishna just looked at me deeply, put his hand out, and he said, welcome to the family. That's how the journey started.